At LDN Apprenticeships, we are a education provider. What we do is we do apprenticeship training, and that can be for new or existing employees. We're a small team of around 30 employees, and we're growing up to kind of 35 at the moment. Like I said, we're in the education space. What we do is we work with employers that are either looking to upskill their staff or looking at taking on a new member of staff and placing them into an apprenticeship role. So like any kind of sales team that's out there, I think there is a lot of time that's spent in kind of identifying the right type of clients to work with, and then also reaching out to that and finding the people within those businesses that you want to target. Yeah, that's kind of where we thought, looking for a solution out there that's really going to cut us down on that time element within the sales process, so that we can then spend more time on kind of the interactions and actually speaking to the employers that we want to speak with. We use Salesforce. I think most it's probably the most common one that people would have heard of, and that people are using out there is their CRM tool. So we use Salesforce, and the good thing about Cognizant is that it fits perfectly into that workflow. We also use Salesforce for all of our outbound emails, so it's really nice to just be able to pass data through Cognizant into Salesforce, and then interact with our clients from there. What's changed? I think the good thing about Cognizant is that there's two different routes, and the system itself allows you to either mass produce data. So if you kind of set the parameters that you want to target, you can then download a sort of big list from Cognizant. But then there's also a more targeted approach. So using things like LinkedIn, Cognizant can track the data that way, which really allows us to kind of cover all different types of lead generation that we're trying to do at the very start of that sales process. So I think results definitely have been, the time that we've saved in lead sourcing. That's one thing that I could look back on and probably say we've more than cut it in half, the amount of time that we are saving by using Cognizant. And from that, we're still getting a good number of leads coming through. The number of leads that we're adding to our system hasn't dropped off. It's just been a complete massive time saving. And we're starting to see the quality of the leads that come through. So we typically have quite a long sales cycle of around kind of anywhere between 3 to 6 months. So using Cognizant, we're now starting to see the results coming through of the leads that we've sourced through the system itself. My favorite thing about Cognizant has to be the integrations that it has with our current workflow and the systems that we use. The system itself, like I said, plugs straight into Salesforce, which makes it so easy for us to streamline our sales processes further and further. And of course, not forgetting the support that we get from our account manager, Aaron. That's also a big plus with Cognizant as well.